the lecture series of Tribology and Terotechnology. I am Joshi, Assistant Professor in Mechanical Engineering Department at LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology. Let's start our first chapter, that is Introduction of Tribology. Okay. In previous session, we covered different topics like tribology in industry. Why we are using tribology in industry? Okay. Then tribology of cam, tribology of bearings, and tribology of gears. In today's session, we will cover different topics like what is lubrication, application of lubrication, then modes of lubrication, and properties of lubrication. Now, first of all, we will discuss about what is lubrication. Lubrication is a properties by which the friction and wear rates in a moving context are reduced by using suitable lubricant. Almost every assembly consisting of relatively moving components requires lubrication. It is known since ages that liquid and grease reduces the friction between sliding surfaces by filling the surface cavities and making the surface smoother. Okay, so action of liquid or grease is known as lubrication. Lubricant is a substance introduced between the relatively moving parts to reduce friction and wear rate. The lubricant decreases adhesion component of the friction to a greater extent compared to abrasion component of the friction. Okay. Lubricant is a substance which is used to control generally friction and wear of the surface in a contact of the bodies which are in relative motion. Depending on its nature, lubricants are also used to eliminate heat and wear, okay, debris, supply additives into the contact. Okay, then transmit power, protect and sealing. Generally, there are four types of lubricant: oil, grease, penetrating lubricants and dry lubricants. The most common lubricants you will dealing with daily are oil and grease. However, your facility will still be used a dry and penetrating lubricant. Okay. Now, sometimes the choice of lubricant type depends on the properties of the system. For example, in watches or instrument, any lubricant type could meet the load and speed requirement. But because of the need of low lubrication, it is normal to use a very low viscosity oil. However, for open gears, wire ropes or chains, the major problem is to prevent the lubrication from thrown of the moving parts. And it is necessary to use these bituminous oil or grease having the special adhesive properties. Okay. So advantages of lubrication in addition to the reducing friction and wear rate, okay, are it reducing instant failure. Okay, then it reducing fatigue failure. Okay, lubricant reduce the force required in the tangential direction, so it reduces the fatigue failure. Then reducing surface failure and reducing the stress concentration. Okay, now we will discuss the about some example of the lubrication. First example is lock and key. As you can see here in the diagram, on turning the key, the bolt slide into the notch on the door frame. Force required for turning the key and move bolt will reduce by the lubrication. Okay. Now, second example, as you can see here, the window lifting mechanism. Now, windows in most cars use linkages to lift the window glass. A small electric motor is attached to the one gear to lift the window. For smooth functioning, lubrication is used, as you can see here in the diagram. Okay. Now, we will discuss about the lubrication application of the lubricant. Okay. First application is between the transmission parts. Okay. And second application is in the bearings. Third application, lubricants are used in cam and followers. Okay. Then fourth application is seal faces, and the last application is any situation involving metal to metal contact. Okay. Now, we will discuss about what is expected from a lubricant. The main objective of the lubricant is to reduce the metal to metal contact and thereby minimize friction and wear. Lubricant also required to perform other functions like cooling, cleaning, suspending, protection and transfer of power. We expect some requirements from the lubricants which can be explained by considering the few examples. Okay. First example is lubricant between cylinder and liner rings. Okay. As you can see here in the diagram, okay, cylinder and liner rings, the requirement for such type of lubrication are as follow. Okay. First, form a film to separate the surface and reduce the friction between the metal to metal contact in order to improve, okay, uh, efficiency of the system. Then need to adhere to the surfaces. Then must neutralize the corrosive products of the combustion and must withstand high temperature inside the cylinder. Okay. Next example is lubricant in journal bearing. The requirement for the lubrication in the journal bearing are as follow. Okay. Lubricant should support the shaft and load on it. It should avoid contact stresses. Lubricant should have a ability to dampen vibration, as you can see here in the diagram of the journal bearing. Okay. Now we will discuss about the basic mode of lubrication. Lubrication thickness between two solid surfaces must be thick to avoid wear but thin enough to minimize lubrication shearing. As thin lubrication and thick lubrication terms are subjective, there is a need to differentiate these terms. Okay? Based on that, modes for lubrication can be classified as thin and thick lubrication. Okay? Now what is thick lubrication and what is thin lubrication? When the interacting surfaces are completely separated and the influence from the surface asperities is negligible, lubrication is termed as a thick lubrication. Thick lubrication is governed by the Reynolds theory. Now, what is thin lubrication? When the lubricating films is unable to completely separate the sliding surface and surface asperities or roughness on the engineering surface being to interfere the lubrication, okay, under such condition it is termed as a thin lubrication. Thin lubrication is far more complex. It requires scientific study at nanometer to the micrometer level. In such a situation, the total applied load is partly carried by mechanical contact and partly by the fluid between the sliding surface. Analysis of thin lubrication is very complex and it involves cooling surfaces, asperities, mechanical deformation, lubricant flow transport and chemical reaction. Now, as thin and thick lubrication are related to the surface roughness of contacting surface, it is necessary to understand the lubrication mechanism related to the surface texture of the type of bearing. Okay, so lubrication mechanism is divided into four types. First one is hydrodynamic lubrication, then elasto-hydrodynamic lubrication, mixed lubrication, and boundary lubrication. Okay, now what is hydrodynamic lubrication? Hydrodynamic lubrication is a term that defines a situation in which two rubbing surfaces are separated by a thin film of lubricant. This situation is often beneficial and lubrication is used to reduce the friction and wear of rubbing solid with the aid of liquid or lubricant. Now what is elasto-hydrodynamic lubrication? Elasto-hydrodynamic lubrication is a lubrication regime type of hydrodynamic lubrication in which significant elastic deformation of the surfaces take place and it is considerably alter the shape and thickness of the lubricant film in the contact. Now what is lubrication? Mixed lubrication is an operating state of lubricated contact in which surface roughness significantly affects the performance of the contact. It may occur with the conformal contact of lubrication such as journal bearing lubrication. And last one is boundary lubrication. Boundary lubrication is defined as that in which the sliding surfaces are separated by a very thin molecular film of the lubricant. Okay, so the chemical and physical nature of the surface and the lubricant are play major important role. Okay, now we will discuss about the properties of the lubricant. Lubricants have a wide range of properties that impact their physical and chemical properties. Okay, knowing about these properties, it is important in determining which lubricant is best for which situation. Okay, so while there are many properties, the most important first one is viscosity. A lubricant internal resistance to flow. Okay, higher viscosity lubricants are thick and don't flow, while the lower viscosity lubricants have a closer consistency to water and do flow. Okay, then next one is viscosity index, the rate of change in viscosity with changes in temperature. Okay, in other words, how much viscosity changes as temperature changes. Okay, third one is oxidation stability. Oxidation is a reaction that occurs when the oxygen is combined with the lubricating volume. Variables such as high temperature, water and acid will accelerate the rate of oxidation. The life of lubricant is reduced as the temperature increases, leading to the varnish and sludges. Okay? And next one is pour point. The lowest temperature at which a lubricant will flow or pour like a liquid, this can differ depending on the test condition. Okay. The next one is demulsibility. There is an ability of lubricant to separate from the water. And the last one is flash point. Okay. The temperature at which a lubricant will ignite when heated and mix with air, but the flame is not sustained. While there are other properties to consider when choosing a lubricant, these are often considered the most important property. Okay, so in this session we discuss about the different properties of lubricants, mode of lubrication, why lubrication is necessary. Okay, uh, thank you for watching this video.